During World War II. There was some hot boy shit. Welcome back to the DrewCast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 20 of the DrewCast. I'm your host, Melo15. That song is amazing, bro. That's why you guys see a huge fucking smile on my face. When we were kids, Justin, that song was so nostalgic, bro. That shit's hella crazy, dude. And I'm probably coming across as someone who just fucking smoked. No. Okay. So tonight, guys, I got a little bit of stuff I want to talk about, and it's gonna, I don't know, I might piss people off. Justin, have you heard about, you know who Gina Carano is? Right? You know, like, she passed the MMA and all that stuff. Did you know she was? I didn't know that, actually. Did you know she was on the Mandalorian, though?
No.
Yeah. You're like, no, I know. He's like, wow. But yeah, so she recently, I don't want to say she got fired, but she basically, Disney and Lucasfilm let her go over some recent comments. I'm actually going to read you what they felt like was the kicker, and then you're going to tell me if you think this was worth her getting, fired, canceled, whatever. And we'll put the picture up right here for you guys to see. So Gina, she posted this on her Instagram story. And so the caption says, Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited. Most people today don't realize that you get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews. The government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from someone hating someone for their political view? So that's what it says. And so everybody on Twitter went into this huge uproar, and she ends up getting let go of the show. So after what I just obviously said to you, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that's cancel worthy? But
probably not.
Here's the problem, right? So she wasn't comparing being a Republican
I feel like even
to being
if she was, I feel people in general, just the general public, if you compare anything to like Jews in the Holocaust, you just automatically, it's the same shit that happened with Nick Cannon.
Okay. Yeah. And right. You're right.
I don't think she was, but even if she was,
so
anything that has to do with Jews in the Holocaust, they're just like, yeah, we're not.
What are we gonna do though with the people who spent 4 years calling Trump Hitler? What about the 4 years people spent calling anything Republican Nazi Trump's Hitler? Right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that kind of like this? Isn't that the same thing? You're comparing Trump to Hitler for 4 years.
Who tried to commit genocide.
I mean, he basically did. Well, he didn't commit full, you know what I mean? He did, basically, right? Mm-hmm. And nobody that I've ever met has ever sympathized with Hitler. Have you ever met someone who sympathized with Hitler? Mm-hmm. I've never met anybody, right? No one says to themselves, like, oh, what he did was good, what he believed in was good. No one believes that. I guarantee you, if you ask Gina Carano, she feels the same way. Gina's not sitting here saying, right? So the same people who spent 4 years on Twitter, Trump's Hitler, Trump's this, you guys are Nazis, literal, you know how they would say like literal, you know what I mean? Like you'd see corny shit like that all the time, right? So
that's what I'm saying though. It's like they could say that, but I feel like the second you bring up anything related to Jews and Holocaust,
it's automatically you're anti-Semitic, you're automatically ostracized by people. You can't. So Twitter made this huge uproar. They've been doing it to Gina. Anytime she would tweet something, she would she tweeted a puzzle at one time, and I could put it up here on the screen too. The puzzle, it wasn't really that good of a puzzle because it ended up saying Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, right? And people were mad about that too, like, oh, you're posting conspiracy theories and right. So, anyways, long story short, she gets let go of the show. But that day, bro, Twitter went ham on her. Twitter went fucking ham, dude. So my problem, right, is that, first of all, I don't think what you said, Gina, was even worthy of you to lose your job. Okay? Now, is it her employer's right to fire her for something she said? Sure. But let's not forget, people, who her actual employer is. Are we going to forget? Disney was her employer at the time, right? Disney. Are we gonna forget? This is why cancel culture, to me, Dustin, is so fucking stupid. Cancel culture, it kind of eats itself in a way, because like you have Disney Plus with the kids, and when you watch certain movies like Aladdin, right? You'll put on Aladdin, and they have that little stupid fucking disclaimer in the beginning of Aladdin.
I didn't notice that at first, but I just noticed that.
Right. So then Aladdin, it'll say like, "Oh, we this depiction is not, like, bro, what? I don't care. I literally don't care. Did you click on Aladdin to see that? You're probably 90% of the people who click on Aladdin.
What do you think they're referring to? Me personally, bro.
I guess
don't think that
Emily told me, the beginning song, Arabian Nights. I guess like Emily was telling me that people are mad because it makes Agrabah look like it's dirty, and everybody hears thieves and dirty. I mean,
I guess
I'm not saying that's true. I don't know what the fuck is Agrabah even real?
Let's look it up.
Please, because if you say that Agrabah is not real, you guys are mad over a fictional fucking Middle East city. I'm gonna wait until Justin gives me that confirmation, guys, because that is, I don't click on Aladdin for a disclaimer. Agrabah's not real?
No.
Okay, so you're mad about a fake city? Okay, Justin, what are we supposed to do now? When it comes to depicting any culture now, what do we do now? Okay, let's say we make Aladdin 4, okay? Am I supposed to get only Middle East actors, Middle East directors, Middle East producers? What are we supposed to do now? Like, you can't depict anything bad of our culture now? Like, anything? So, like, if we were to do an American movie, am I only going to depict the good of America? Like, that's not how that works. That's not even the point. The point is that when I watch Aladdin, I don't give a fuck about that little disclaimer. Who's butt her over Aladdin? Now, the reason I'm bringing this up to you, Disney is just, I don't think Disney should have got involved with cancel culture, man. The founder of this company, Walt Disney, wasn't he famously anti-Semitic himself? Right? They make jokes about that. He was famously racist himself. He was homophobic.
They just got in trouble for the whole Hong Kong stuff, too.
Yeah, remember? Mm-hmm. So you're telling me, then let's cancel the name Disney then. Why aren't we doing that? Let's literally, guys, no, I'm not even trying to troll right now. Let's literally make them change their name. You're not Disney, right? Isn't that what cancel culture is, Justin? Let's put pressure on them now. Let's put pressure on them. We're going to make them change their name. You're not Disney no more. Right? That'd be so funny if we could do that. Hey, your founder, Walt Disney, was anti-Semitic, which you just let go of Gina Carano for supposedly being. He's homophobic, racist, gotta go. Remember all the old cartoons we used to see in World War II?
That would be funny as fuck.
The Japanese people, I get it. It's the time period, right? Is it right? I'm not saying it's right. But we're going to put a depiction on that too? Anything from that, or just everything gets a depiction. Because you can find anything. You literally can find anything. What's the word, man? I'm forgetting it. You can find anything offensive, bro. So what? Now any Disney Plus show, any Disney Plus movie, got to have the disclaimer. It got said we should make Disney change their name now. We should make a campaign for that, because that's what cancel culture is now. Cancel culture. I'm not saying this is so hard of a topic to talk about, bro. I'm not saying people can say racist things, and your employer has the right, Justin, to let you go for saying stupid stuff. Your employer has that right, man. Right? But Disney, bro, right? Disney is the same Disney who took John Boyega off the international Star Wars posters because China doesn't like black people. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
Is that the Hong Kong thing you were talking about from earlier?
No.
Okay, so Star Wars, Lucasfilm, would take John Boyega off the fucking international poster, and I'll post it up here, right? Because the Chinese market I'm not saying every Chinese person hates black people, okay? Right? But the Chinese market that they're aiming to, that's why they took Finn off the poster. Or they would shrink Finn. Right? Is that not racist? Is that not racist?
It is.
It is. So the same people who do that are now turning around and saying, "Oh, like Kathleen Kennedy," and I'll post a picture of this tweet up today. Like literally, I think it was a couple days after they let Gina go. Kathleen Kennedy comes out and starts talking about women and unity, and we need more women voices. You're not gonna have many women. So are the only women that are allowed to talk? Are they the Democrat women? Are the only women allowed to have a voice from the left? I'm not understanding that. Are the only women you're allowing to speak are women who fit a certain narrative? Like I don't get it. What does that tell little girls? What does that tell anybody? So isn't that kind of, you see? I hope Justin, you get what I'm coming at. Don't you kind of see Gina's point kind of making a full circle now? The story she put in IG, don't you kind of see it making a full circle now? Where they're going to get people to turn on their neighbors. They're going to get people, and I'm not saying that people who voted for Trump are victims. I'm not, I don't even know how to explain this. They're not, I'm not saying that they're victims and, right? But you can see it coming full circle now. It's like, oh, okay. You guys are literally letting people, the meme, not the meme, the thing she posted is basically saying that's how stuff like that starts. You get everybody to turn on a certain group of people. You get them to hate them. You talk shit about them. You despise them. And so when stuff starts happening to those group of people, you don't feel bad for them. Like you don't you don't even, you kind of dehumanize them. So now when bad stuff starts happening, you're like, yeah, they deserve it, bro. They deserve it, man. But where is that for the people who spent 4 years comparing Trump to Hitler? And I know people get like, well, I've heard and met Holocaust survivors who say Trump reminds them of, but I've also heard the other way around. I've also heard people who are Jewish and have Jewish descent say that what Gina Carano posted was true. That they did turn people against their neighbors. And they did like it was like a propaganda thing. So that, I don't know, bro. Cancel culture is so weird. And especially from Disney. I actually think it would be so funny to get people just to cancel that name. It's not Disney no more.
Who's the guy that remember that one comedian who like he went basically viral over the fucking speech or like monologue that he did at the Grammys or Golden
Was it
Globes?
Ricky Gervais?
Yeah, where he was basically like, I don't want to hear about Disney Plus and Apple and all these guys come up here and make speeches about, humanitarian stuff when they have Chinese sweatshops.
Yeah, like it's like Disney and like Amazon and all these big companies. Well, I'm not Amazon, but Disney and all these big companies, and like especially Disney, because they've had a past of this. Like they come up on stage and try to Black Lives Matter and unity and inclusivity and we're trying to uplift women. Do you actually believe they care? They give a shit about that?
That's the whole point.
They don't care.
I don't want to hear fucking
especially
Apple,
Disney.
like, hey,
they're gonna come for me, bro. I'm telling you guys, if you guys love me and you love watching the show, they're gonna come for me for saying this, bro. And I'm not gonna shy away from this topic. Target. I went into Target today, listen, and guess what I saw in Target? Black History Month signs. Have you seen that in Target yet? They have like this little section now where it's like Black History Month. Not that that's bad, but Target's profiting off Black History Month now? Why is Target doing that? Right? Why is
They do
Target...
the same thing with Pride. Like every brand will change their logo to like a rainbow logo, and then the second June's over with,
done. It's like now they're making money off people's plights. They're making money off people's like suffering, dude. When has Target ever cared about black people? When? They're just now doing it because it's cool to do it. Disney's doing the same thing. I'm not saying it's the individual people, right? Like, yes, black people deserve a voice. Black people deserve jobs in Hollywood. Black people deserve everything that I get. Everything that we get, right? Everybody should get the same level of playing field here. But it's kind of like a slap in my face. You're right. Like, and Ricky Gervais said it. When those companies get on stage and they start doing like that, you know, oh, we are inclusive, and it's like, no, when have you ever been inclusive? When? It's embarrassing. It's highly embarrassing. You guys comment below if you don't agree with what Gina said. That's 100% okay, right? That's 100. If you're someone who's Jewish, if you're someone who's not Jewish, if you're someone who doesn't agree or does agree with her, I think it's perfectly fine, and I think it's fine to have conversations like this. Like, I'm not gonna shut someone out for disagreeing with me. Like, let's talk. And if at the end of that conversation we don't come to an understanding, right? At least I can walk away knowing I tried. Like, hey, you know, we talked, we spoke like adults. We talked about what we didn't agree. We talked about what we agreed on, and then we moved on, right? Silencing people, that's a slippery slope. Now, like, you know, the big tech thing that's been going on with like Twitter banning people and like Google banning people, and now it's like, where does the reason I don't agree with that is because where do we draw the line? Are we going to cancel Disney now? Let's cancel Disney. Where does the line start and where does the line end? Because if these people can control us and these people can control what's going on, who's to say they don't get to decide what's this and what's that? Because we already know what's this and what's that, but then now these people are deciding for us. Comment below, guys.